And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, October the 12th. We are now 1 hour and 6 minutes away from me being 29 years old.
Getting old, Adam.
Just getting up there.
You're getting old.
I know. I was born 45, so really this is like my 83rd birthday.
It's kind of true. You're not even 30 yet, dude. I'm turning 31, so don't.
That's right.
Don't feel.
31.
Don't feel too bad. Well, second half.
Yep. It is the second half. It's time to answer some questions from the Patreons. $10 and higher on Patreon means you can ask us questions each and every week that we may pick to be answered here on Side B of the podcast. Do you have a question by any chance that you've seen in this list?
I will go here and I will pick one right now. First one, the very first one.
Okay.
From Jin, who is a newly $10 supporter, so thank you,
Let's
Jin.
go.
He said, what motivated you guys to start to casting StarCraft 2 on YouTube or just stream in general?
Well, I mean, the StarCraft thing was literally, as the story has been said innumerable times now, Jeff walked into my house, walked into my bedroom, said, Adam, I've got an idea, let's make a YouTube channel, and I said, sure, that sounds neat. And there were two things I wanted to do. Ironically, I wanted to do kind of what we're doing now. And Jeff wanted to do StarCraft because StarCraft 2 was coming into beta, and StarCraft was a huge part of our lives when we were younger, and wanted to do StarCraft content. So we were going to do both at first. StarCraft took off like a bat out of hell, and it just kind of, that's just it. So as far as motivation goes, I guess the motivation early on was that it was the Wild West. At least this is in my opinion. It was the Wild West on YouTube for gaming content. Definitely Wild West for StarCraft 2. And there was an unbelievable fucking high when you posted a video and you'd get, we'd get like 100 views. And we'd sit there and we'd be refreshing the page, artificially inflating our own views in the process, looking for comments and everything else. And it was a fucking high. Like, I mean, I still get that way now with like my stuff on my channel, my solo channel, when I do a game review, because my channel's not huge, so I'll get like 1,000 views on a video or something. And I'll just I'm refreshed. I just want to see comments. I want did people like what I did? Did people like what I produced? And for LAGTV early on, and I say early on because it changed over time, but for LAGTV early on, there was so much positivity in the comment section.
Until you get popular, and then
then it was all downhill. But there was so much positivity, and everybody loved what we were doing because we were doing something different than everyone else. And so it was like crack. You do the videos, and so it was a lot of work, and we had shit computers, and it took like fucking overnight to render a video, and a lot of the time the renders wouldn't work. You'd have to re-render them, and it was just a fucking nightmare. And then it took like forever to upload because the internet sucked. And but then it was up there, and the video was put live, and you just sit there and you wait and watch it come in. And for me, that was what it was like. It was the response, which it still is now, and most content creators would give you a similar answer. It's, we do it because we like to do it, but we also do it because we like to see other people enjoy what we've created, I guess, is my view of it.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I'm the same way, and I post up like car-related stuff that I've been heavily into now, and it is nice to see people enjoy your stuff, especially when you put a lot of work into certain things. Like, it's one thing for me to stream and then post up a clip of me going crazy in a chainmail that didn't take a whole lot of effort. That is, just whatever. It's just a clip. But when you're going out and you're setting up shots and you're editing a video and you're putting time and effort into it, and then you post it and somebody likes it, or somebody just so as soon as you post it, you've got 5 dislikes and it's been out for 5 seconds. It is not a great feeling, because you're just like, you ask yourself, well, why am I even doing this? And then I, realize, well, because I make a lot of money doing it. And so then I just go, okay, well, I guess that's why I'm doing it.
It's a good motivator.
It's a good motivator. I mean, ultimately I do it because I love it, but I deal with the bullshit because it pays well to deal with the bullshit. Because I can tell you definitively, if I wasn't being paid to do what we do, I wouldn't do it. I would do it to enjoy it as a hobby, but I obviously wouldn't put in 10-hour days, 6 days a week, to be scrutinized and be called every name in the book or whatever, being told that how I'm doing something wrong, if you're not getting some kind of gain out of it. Because in the beginning, it was all about refreshing the page and seeing those things. When we first started, there was no money involved at all. Like, it was just, we just did it because we enjoyed it. And it wasn't until money became involved where it really excited me, because I go, well, I'm in a shitty spot in my life right now. I can make a positive change. I actually wanted to get up and work for once. Who wants to get up and go to work at their 9 to 5 and slave away, making minimum wage or very close to it? And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Was my life for a long time, but there's nothing exciting about waking up and doing that unless you're passionate about what it is that you're doing. You don't need to get paid a lot and still like what you're doing, as long as you enjoy it. But most people that work 9 to 5s, it's they hate one or two of their coworkers. They hate that people around them are lazier than they are. They're not getting paid that much. They're living paycheck to paycheck. And so for once, I was thinking, wow, if I'm not even going to make that much money and I have enough to live, that's all that matters to me. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to get rich. I'm going to make videos and get rich. That was just never the thing. It was just, hey, I might be able to pay my rent with this thing. Yeah. And then I can say, holy shit, I'm a gamer. I wake up and I cast Starcraft and I stream Starcraft and I pay my rent doing it. I didn't think about getting out of debt, or I didn't think about buying a home, or getting a fancy car, or putting money away for retirement, or none of that came to my mind. None of it. It was just like, I love playing games. I love StarCraft, and I'm going to get paid to do it. You could have given me, honestly, if I was getting paid $1,000 a month to do everything, I would still do it, because I'd be like, hey, I'm having fun and I'm getting paid a couple bucks. Hey, this isn't half bad. At least after my shitty 9 to 5 job, I can at least come home and have an audience to talk to and make a couple dollars on the side. So it's rewarding. So for me, it was more of just, I did it because I loved it and I needed change. That was it. I dropped out of university and I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just needed change, and it just all happened. It was right place, right time, and a whole lot of effort. That's what it boiled down to, just a lot of consistency. And we were pretty consistent, even when Adam had a hectic life with school or work in school or whatever the case would have been. We still managed to find time to get the videos done. And back then, it was a much longer editing process and things to get things done than what it is now. Now you just hit record on OBS and record. Back then, it was like record, put it into Vegas. Vegas dies every 30 seconds. Fucking wrong things with renders, and rendering took 3 hours, and uploading took 4 hours, and it was just like all that for what? A couple dollars. But then it all just kind of made sense when it boomed. It's kind of a bittersweet thing, because I look back and I go, man, if only I would have known where we would be at today, starting all that. And then at the same time, I get mad because we had an opportunity. We were at the boiling point. Like, we were in the Mecca when it was all being built, and we were there before it exploded, and we had an audience to explode with, but we decided not to. We decided to stay in that little room, and it irks me. Like, I have a resentment towards YouTube in general, just because I hate. It's almost like you're in a bad relationship, and the person has done you wrong in some way, and you break up, and then every single relationship that you're with, you compare, or you just can't forget, and that's what YouTube is like for me. It's this thing where I enjoy it. I like putting up my videos, but it's a constant reminder of my fuck up. It's a constant reminder of not sticking to what I envisioned and what I wanted to do, and being unapologetic about it, to being bent over essentially by the will of the vocal minority, and being closed in a cage, because a lot of Let's Players or duo group channels or whatever, they went with the times. They found their game that they created that base, and then when Minecraft came out and they peered off, it exploded. Or this game came out and they peered off and exploded, and we just stuck right where we were. And that pisses me off still, even still to this day. I still I mean, I'm over it. I'm over it, but I'm not, it's like, it's one of those things. So looking back, it's a bittersweet thing for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I mean, you look back and you say what if all you want.
I know, of course.
I mean, here's the harsh truth. Even if we had gone back in time and pivoted from Starcraft, the problem is that the vocal minority on YouTube actually controls the success of your channel. Just raw view count doesn't actually ultimately do that much for you until you are into the multiple hundreds of thousands of views. So if you're at some 100K and under club, which is where we were at,
which was a lot for a gaming channel
in
2000.
Yeah, that was
back in
that was
2012, 2013.
But when YouTube changed several times over.
But it was just a matter. I know what you're saying, but it was just a matter of like having Machinima or any other network going, "Hey guys, we love you. Can we get some Minecraft, or can we get this, and can we get that, and we'll push you." And they just didn't have love for Starcraft, and it wasn't until we got scammed where we basically forced their arm to allow us to be put on their channel via Starcraft.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the scam, then we probably never even would have gotten on Machinima in the first place. So, it was just different opportunities that we just didn't jump on, but it all worked out. I mean, look, we're here now, right? So we're still here.
Yeah.
So God only knows. I mean, we could have went somewhere else, and it could have went to shit. But yeah, so yeah, I just started because I loved it, man, and then it just turned into a job.
That's pretty much it.
Got addicted to it. But I'm with Adam. It's nice to have that validation, to see people say nice things about your work, because anybody that is in the entertainment business is a little bit egotistical, a little bit feeling themselves, whether they want to admit it or not. And you have to be that type of person that enjoys a little bit of a pat on the back and recognition to an extent. And so to have your ego, stroked a little bit is it's motivating. It's motivating.
Yeah, absolutely. And for some people, more so than the money.
Yes.
In many cases. This question comes in from Duke, who is a $10 for 70 lifetime, meaning he's been with us since the beginning at that $10 spot. So thank you, Duke.
Thanks, Duke.
What foreign country would you like to visit the most? What country would you never even consider going to?
Country that I would like to see the most. Damn. I would love to go to Japan. Japan would be probably the dream. And the least, I actually have no idea. I would say, I don't know, man. What's like a really cold and shitty spot? Like, I don't know.
Canada?
Well, Canada, yeah. that I just would not want to go to. I don't know. I like traveling. I like seeing other parts of the world. I mean, there's no spots that there's a few spots I'd be scared to go to, but um, Russia, yeah, maybe Russia. I wouldn't go to Russia, but I'm sure I can think of worse places to go. Obviously, I think Russia would probably actually be nice to visit at certain times of the year, but I don't know.
Yeah. I'm Japan as well, so there's that. Um, for me, I want to go to Japan because I want to for a number of reasons. One, I want sushi.
Yes, yes.
Two, Japan has a phenomenal mix of um modern stuff. We'll just call it modern stuff, whether it's the city itself, um, etc. But then it has the super old. So you can get out and go to, you go further south, you go further north, although not too far north, you get fried. And you can get into the temples and the older side of Japan, which would be really great. And then you get to go back into the city and you get to enjoy the nightlife and the all that that it has to
Offer.
provide in that way, whether it's the bars or the clubs or the concerts or just the myriad shit. It seems like there's always something happening somewhere in Japan, and it's pretty much because there is always something happening in Japan somewhere. So that would be my deal for sure. And then but it has to be cherry blossom season. I want to go during so it's in the spring because that's the top time for sure. And then place I wouldn't go, you wouldn't catch me dead in Russia for sure. Not a chance. Well, if I was in Russia, I probably would be dead. So maybe you would catch me dead in Russia. But excluding the obvious like Russia or like North Korea or some shit, where people just will flat out not want to go. I mean, the other ones like Middle East, obviously, there's a lot of hot spots and nobody's gonna want to go fucking take a stroll right now. I'll try and pick something that's a little bit more pedestrian that I just wouldn't have any interest in.
I'm sticking with Russia. So
yeah. If I'm going to be honest, there are only really a couple of places in Europe I give a fuck about, and then like a lot of people seem to have this European fever in North America, especially for Paris, obviously. I don't give a fuck about Paris. I don't need to be there. I don't really care if I ever get to go to Paris. Other than that, Eastern Europe is also kind of a place that I'm not 100% on. Not because I don't want to be there, but just because they're just, I guess that's just it. The places that you don't want to go are the places that are inherently
you just don't care.
Inherently just uncomfortable to be there or more dangerous. Like you're just going to higher risk areas for various things. So I mean it's kind of hard to pick something like that. But yeah, that would be my answer for sure. If I had to pick something else other than Japan, I've said this before, I'd like to go see the Mayan pyramids and stuff. So go hit up South America somewhere. Would be neato.
Next question is going to be from Aaron Antwine. We're at a $10 supporter, so thank you. He said, did you guys ever play World of Warcraft, and how much of your soul was lost to it? And what other MMOs might you guys have played? So I'll answer that first. I played World of Warcraft back in 2014 for a little over a month. Streamed it, got level 90, did some raids, made another character, got that to like 50-something, and then got bored of the game. Yeah. And now I've been playing RuneScape, which is one of the OGs of OGs for MMOs. And what I like about it is it's the constant grind. You never feel like you're finished. You're always, and you can totally get lost in it for sure. Um, it seems stupid just sitting there cutting a tree for 8 hours, and it is, but there's something about it that is just rewarding and masochistic, and it's hard to explain. I think most people can probably understand what I'm getting at if you've played MMOs. I mean, it's just like the MMO bug. It's grinding levels and grinding numbers and picking up new loot and looking for chests and different shit like that. So, yeah, those are the only two MMOs that I've ever really played and that I've ever enjoyed. Would I play them ever by myself? No, never. I just would not. I've never played an MMO. I think I may have maybe played an hour or two of RuneScape by myself, and that was just to get some of the shitty stuff out of the way before I streamed. But beyond that, they're not for me. The only games that I could play by myself are like an RPG, which I would prefer to play by myself, or a competitive game, Starcraft, HOTS, League, something shooter. I can sit down and play that by myself off stream, and I've also been playing some Fortnite or PUBG off stream from time to time as well. So, or retro games. But beyond that, MMOs only played them for streaming purposes. I do love it, but I just could not sink that much time of my free time playing more video games. And I'm jaded as fuck because I play games for a living. So it's not when you play games for a living, the last thing you want to do is play games when you're not playing games. Like, it's literally the last thing you want to do. And the only time you'll really do it is if you have actual friends that come over, like real life friends, and you play video games with them. That's the show. That's the show. At least for me. I can't speak for Adam, but it's rare for me.
Well, yeah, it is. It's rare for me. I had and it's normally a game that I don't stream. Like, if I'm playing something, it's something that I don't stream. So, like, you're not going to catch me really playing PUBG if I'm not streaming, because I'm already playing so much of it in general. Like, I'll be playing some racing game or some shit or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, I played WoW. I played it for a little less time than Jeff. Played it for about 3.5 weeks. Similarly, I had people in the community that were, when that expansion, same time Jeff was playing, was coming out, and everyone was playing in preparation for this expansion to arrive, and there was all sorts of hype around it, and a number of people in my community were World of Warcraft players, and they were like, come on, let's play it. We'll help you out, we'll make sure that you don't get, lost and get, tired of it because you don't know what's going on. And so I said, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do this for you guys. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna give it my best. I'm gonna play it. I'll give everything. I'm streaming it 8-10 hours a day, 3 weeks. It was boring as fuck. Like, really, truly awful.
Yeah.
I do not, and I'm a guy that can play games that are old looking and beat up and fucking whatever. It doesn't really bother me that much. But all I wanted to do was just play through the story and just, get that. But even that was just so full of tedium that by the time I'd gotten to the next plot point, I'd fucking forgotten what the shit had happened in the last plot point. And then it got to the point where people were saying, well, and Jeff would have heard this too, all the good shit happens after level 90. The game gets good when you're at level 90.
That's when the game
and I was
died
sitting
for
here
me, straight up.
And I was sitting here going, what kind of a sales pitch is skip fucking everything, max out, because that's when the game gets good? That I couldn't buy that, because I'm sitting here going, you guys didn't play this game for half of your fucking life because the end game was the tits. You also enjoyed the ride from the beginning for the fact that it was had to have been good otherwise. I couldn't envision why somebody would say something like that. So anyway, I kept getting them to take me through the story. I didn't want to just do the stuff that instantly levels you up and all this other bullshit. to try and get you to 90 as fast as possible. I ended up getting to like level 50 something, 60 something by the time it was all said and done. But I had to stop because I was like, look, guys, you know, it's just I appreciate that you like this game, and I appreciate for those who still like this game, but I'm gonna say that 80+% of the people that play WoW today are only playing it because they are so heavily invested in it for so long that it would feel like part of their soul had been ripped from their fucking body if they stopped playing World of Warcraft.
Well, part of their soul would be ripped from their body.
Yes. I honestly, as somebody who thinks that they have at least a little bit, minor, tiny piece of credibility when it comes to critiquing games, World of Warcraft is almost objectively shit. Like, really bad. When the company themselves spends more time promoting skipping all of the shit to get to the end.
Yeah.
Like, how many different ways can we get people to buy into this game and just instantly get to this level and have all this shit so that you can get right to the good part of World of Warcraft? You know you done fucked up somewhere really, really bad. World of Warcraft has fantastic lore, great characters, and I didn't really get a lot of that in my time with it. And on top of that, it's clunky as fuck. It hurts. I feel like I'm playing a game from 1997 every time, even when I was playing it then. And it was rough. And then people said to me, well, in order to really, do well and be fluent with the game, you need to spend some time customizing your UI so you can be more efficient with what you're doing, with your rotations and all this shit. And so I said, you know what? Yes, for the sake of this argument, I will do this. I will go the full distance. I spent like 8-10 hours working alongside of Dreyfus from the community. You probably remember that name because he was probably with you too. Worked alongside of him so I knew what I was doing, and I fully fucking customized my entire overlay for WoW to get the efficiency going for my rotations so I could feel like I was more competent and I could be more actively involved. And guess what? The game still sucks some balls, and I wasted 10 hours of my life making an overlay for World of Warcraft. So...
Hey, you've wasted more time doing different overlays.
It's true, I have, definitely. But, so, again, I can appreciate why people play it. I really can. But I think the game is fucking bad. I've played other MMOs. I played a lot of MMOs. My buddy Brian and I spent years of our lives early on playing just about every free-to-play MMO that has ever been freaking created. That's not hyperbole for the sake of an entertaining story. I'm telling you right now, for a long period of time, if there was an MMO that was created, we played it. And for quite a period of time, trying to find something that was good and fun to play, because we originally played a lot of Guild Wars 1, which for people that play World of Warcraft is like saying here in Halifax, I went to SMU, but my buddy went to Dal, and now I have to actually kill him if I see him on the streets. You're not allowed to like both. You have to only like one or the other. Guild Wars 1 was definitively for me the best MMO I ever played. A lot of people that are like WoW fanatics or other MMOs will say that it's not even an MMO because of the instancing that it uses. But I don't follow that at all. And while they totally fucked the game up at some point with the economy, the graphics were fantastic. The art in general was fantastic. The music was fucking incredible. The PvP in Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2 is still probably the best PvP that exists in MMOs, I would imagine. For that flavor of MMO anyway, because there's so many different flavors now. And we played a lot of that, and it's still my favorite. And Guild Wars 2 was a fucking massive disappointment because they tried to be World of Warcraft. So shocker, when I went from Guild Wars 1 and Brian and I were just dying for Guild Wars 2, and we get in and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm playing World of Warcraft painted as Guild Wars. I was done. So I backed the fuck out of that bad boy in the first like 80 hours I played it, and really didn't touch it.
Rip.
And that was disappointing. So I played a lot of other ones too. I've played Elder Scrolls Online. I've messed with, like I said, a whole bunch of them. Blade and Soul more recently, if you wanted to talk about recent ones. I've played
That was
Terra,
all right. That
the
was
ones
like fast paced. I kind of like that.
Blade and Souls was a good, between that and Terra were like the ones battling it out for the good action combat MMOs. And but it didn't have the customizability for the characters that I like in my MMOs. Everyone just looked the same because there wasn't really any customization of what you were wearing. So you just end up with very similar looking characters. But yeah, anyway, it was good. Good shit. And yeah, Guild Wars 2 new expansion though has actually made me kind of want to go back to it. They introduced mounts. They seem to have fixed a lot of the stuff that I wasn't a big fan of, but not everything. So I probably won't play it. But yeah, there you go. World of Warcraft. I think it's bad. Honest to God, I think it's bad. Next question. Let's see. Technical, and this comes in from Corey. Another lifetime 70 at that $10 current pledge. Technical and medical advancement is now that of Ghost in the Shell. Just think really freaking advanced for this if you don't know anything about Ghost in the Shell. Do you stay fully organic or just with a few upgrades? If so, what parts of you do you change? Or do you go full-on cyborg?
Ooh. Well, Adam will get a cybernetic penis, so we can.
Yeah, so you gotta upgrade that,
the
right?
penis,
Because
right?
if you're only packing like the average, you got to get a little better.
You gotta up it just a little bit, so that way you can at least say you're above average, right?
When you're 6'6", but you're average in the pants, it just looks like
weird,
you're
huh?
it doesn't look quite right? So you got to upgrade that. You got to get it going.
Oh man, you know what, dude? I think I would probably, I think I would probably go like half. I think I'd go one arm to be metal.
Okay.
And maybe like part of my chest, like right around my left.
So you want to be Jax from Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, I think I'd be like Jax from Mortal Kombat because I just think that's a cool look. I think like having one arm and then it can be like really powerful, or you could switch out kind of the ends of your hands, or I don't know, you could figure out something cool to do with it. And yeah, maybe I'd have some metal teeth too. Instead of like a grill, I'd probably put in some metal teeth.
Your jaws.
Yeah.
Your jaws meets Jax.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool too. Have some like chrome teeth. Be different. And one
grill.
And one cybernetic eye. So the left side as well. Have one cybernetic eye, and that eye can.
Well, you really are Jax.
Yeah, and then that eye can see things differently. So I can scan things and kind of see.
Oh no, you're Jackson somebody else. Jackson the white guy, the Aussie dude. What was his name? Jackson. Oh shit.
I don't know.
Oh, what was his name? Damn it! Somebody in chat will get it. I can't think of it right now off the top of my head. Kano. That's it.
There you
Kano.
go. So, yeah.
Kano has a cybernetic eye.
MaximusBlack. There you go.
MaximusBlack. There you go.
I like it. And like Barrett too. Barrett was the same way.
Yeah, Barrett had the gun arm.
Yep.
I think that if I could have it, I don't know everything about Ghost in the Shell, but I would just go for something simple. I would go for enhanced legs, so that for just never fatiguing, so I could run for longer periods of time without fatigue. And I would like to have some nanobots keep me basically sickness and disease free. I don't need to live forever. I just want to, when I'm alive, I just never want to be sick. I think that's as far as I'd take it. Right there. I don't need to go any further than that.
I wonder if you need repair because you're a mechanic.
Well, I'm not cutting my legs off and replacing them with metal. I'm just, some casual enhancements. Nothing. I don't want to go full on amputee or anything like that. I know that's a bit aggressive. I don't want to be like Astro the bot from the fucking War Amps commercial.
It's a funky looking bot too.
Dude, were you as terrified of that commercial as a kid as I was? That shit scared me.
Weird, dude. It was just weird. It just looked bad.
It's kind of fucking freaky now. Like, if you want to go look this up, I think his name is Astro or something like that. But it was a War Amps commercial from like the 90s. It was it was a 3D render, and he just gets murked in this commercial. And he just he pops his arm back on. He's like, I'm a robot, so I can, get away with this.
But you can't.
But you can't, so play safe. And I was like, ah! As a kid. So it was messed up. Astor, that was his name. Astor. Oh my good lord.
Fucking weird, dude.
Yeah. It was terrifying. Absolutely freaking terrifying. So yeah, that would be what I'd do. All right, what else we got?
Not a lot of questions today.
No, and I posted this yesterday too. It's like the closer to the podcast I post it, the more questions we get.
Interesting. What? Okay. Well, I actually don't know the answer to this question, but I'll read it out anyway.
Okay.
Mozart, thank you for the $10 pledge and a lifetime supporter of $36.
Oh, yes.
What inspired your parents to name you Adam, Jeff, and Tabin? What other names did they consider for you?
I don't know the answer to this, but if I had to take a stab in the dark, I'm going to go with Bible.
I definitely think...
that just makes sense to me.
I wonder if they had a daughter, they'd name her Eve.
No, probably not.
Adam and Eve.
I don't know if I ever asked what I would have been like if they even thought of girl names. Because not all parents think of both sides, right?
Yeah.
Because they just end up finding out what the sex is and then thinking of the name.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. That's
And most of the time when you're named after somebody, unless it's like a direct descendant from your father and you're a junior, it's usually a middle name or something. Like you're named after a grandparent middle name or whatever. So I know my middle name is from a grandfather.
Yeah, and I know I'm pretty sure my mom told me that they got my name out of a phone book. Like they just kind of went through the phone book and looked at names. I don't know why you would pick Jeff out of all of the names in the phone book, but I want to say that was it. My sister was different. My sister's got 5 names, and after Vanessa, all of her middle names, actually my sister's name's Vanessa May, but just call her Vanessa. But her middle names are all people that were in the family, like the middle name of my grandmother or great grandmother and different shit like that. But I didn't get that luxury, so I don't actually know. You know what? When I'm gonna be seeing my mom first thing next week. When I see my mom, I'm gonna ask her, why did you name me what you did, and were you guys considering any other names? You know what? Hey, I'm gonna do it.
Oh no!
I'm gonna do it live.
Oh,
I'm gonna do it live.
I'd do it, but my parents are in bed.
My mom is probably still awake. Let me see here.
Yeah, mine are almost certainly in bed.
Let me see here. Where is my?
I just realized my forehead's super shiny today. I think I got gel on my forehead when I did my hair this morning, and now I look like I'm fucking a deflector.
All right, let me see. I'm calling mom. It's 11:30. She should be awake.
This should be good.
Oh, I get really bad connection down here too. Yeah, it's not gonna fucking call because my. Oh. Let me cancel this and then try it again, dude. I get no reception down here. So unless
dude, your basement's a dead zone. Yeah. It's crazy.
So unless somebody. Oh, here we go. You're probably gonna think something's wrong. I'm calling her this late.
Who died?
Hello?
Hey, Mom.
Hey.
What you doing?
Laying on the couch.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm just here on the stream, and somebody asked me a question, and
right.
I wanted to ask you,
yes.
why did you name me Jeff? Where did that name come from? Why did you guys name me Jeff? And did you guys think of any other names that you were potentially going to name me?
Oh my God. Well, really, I want to name you Jay.
Jay?
Yeah. So
Jay, like Jay?
no, I wanted your name to start with the letter J.
Oh, okay.
So that was probably the main reason why Jeffrey came into play.
Okay. And what did Dad say? Was Dad like, I don't care, name whatever?
Yeah, he was okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't have a problem with it. And I liked the name Jeffrey.
Okay.
Yes.
So that was it. It was just, that was the only name, and then give another one to say, or to think of, and that was
definitely would have been a J.
Okay. So like,
your name,
like Jason or Jack or Jordan.
Absolutely. It would have been a J.
And is it because all your sisters are J?
That little part of it, absolutely. And then when your sister came along, your father automatically told me, don't take your name in this one, a J.
There you go. Okay. All right. No, sounds good, Mom. All right. That's all. I just wanted a question. I just wanted an answer.
You just wanted an answer, son.
All right. Love you, Mom.
I love you too, buddy.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bows out.
Oh my God. Love my mom.
All right, I low key texted mine to see if she was awake. I don't think
your
they're
parents
awake
are
right
sleeping, man. Your parents,
Yeah,
your parents
for
are
sure.
sleeping.
If my mom isn't taking care of my grandmother, she's asleep. This is the two states basically. So I'll see if I can figure that out. But I could. It would be odd to me if that wasn't the answer. That it was just a biblical.
I think it's probably
biblical thing, and they just
guess.
also just like the name Adam or something like that. But I feel like I remember having this conversation with them at some point for some reason, and I don't think they had girl names picked out.
They just knew. They just knew it was gonna be a boy. They just had a feeling.
Knew. I was just, how many girls would be, as my dad said, described my mom. My dad's a brave man at the time. He described my mom, said, you look like a beached whale.
You don't say that. You don't say that.
Because she's pregnant with me, and I was a big ass baby, right? But she was also on like meds for her Crohn's and everything, and it was making her retain water. So she was pregnant with me, plus retaining water and all this other shit. So Dad just said straight up, just like, I love you, but you look like a beached whale.
Oh my God.
Just the savagery.
Oh, your dad keeps it real.
Absolute savagery. Yeah, well, I mean, she probably couldn't get up fast enough to hit him. So I'm sure she got back at him for that at some other point in time.
All right, let's do one more.
Yeah, let's do one more. Let's see what we got here.
You guys got my mom on there, so there we go. And she said Boso too. There you go. You couldn't ask for a better mom, guys. I'm telling you.
That's 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I thought I had one that I had picked here, but okay, yeah. Sam Ostrin, who is $50 lifetime.
Thanks, Sam.
Asks, we've all seen. This is a hell of an assumption, but I'm gonna let it slide because I have. We've all seen the historic classic film Freaky Friday with the acting legend Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
The concept is simple. Lindsay somehow switches bodies with her mom, and wackiness ensues. So my question is, if you could switch bodies with anyone alive for one day, who would it be, and why?
Ooh. Switch bodies with one person for one day. Damn. I would probably pick The Rock. Just because he's so fucking huge, and his days must be the most epic days ever.
You just barely enunciated and I swear to God, if you went for the, and it's just his dick. He's just
I don't know. He might,
his dick
might be small. You never know, right? I don't know.
He could be like me.
He could be
6'6".
Yep. He could
average respectable penis size.
Hey, he could be, but either way, I'd take a day.
But he's a 260-pound man. It's going to look even smaller than it does on me. I'm a wiry little bastard.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big dude.
Yeah. So I would say probably The Rock, just because not only is he huge, and it would be just cool to be that big for a day. But a full day in his life would be exciting. They would do so much, and yeah, I that's who I can think of off the top, because I want to pick somebody that their body is like, completely different than mine. I wouldn't want just like an average Joe body. It doesn't matter how famous they are or how how much pussy they get or something shit like that, right? I wouldn't. It wouldn't matter to me. It's either that or I want to switch with what's his face from Instagram, fucking Dan Bilzerian or whatever, the guy that gets all the pussy, and you must know who he is. He's like
I'm not on Instagram, dude. I'm 85 years old.
Oh my god, dude, he's got the best Instagram on Instagram, and it's just him. He's basically a young Hugh Hefner, where he just
Okay.
it's just he was in like the Navy SEALs and shit, and he like dropped out or he got kicked out, and then he's got a fuck ton of money. He says he's like really good at poker, but his family's in some shit, so I think that's where he got all of his money. And all he does is just fuck bitches and probably snort cocaine. He's had like 4 heart attacks by the age of like 33. I think that would be a fun day to be in his body too, just for one day.
Until you had the 5th heart attack?
Yes. But I'm still going with The Rock. I'm still picking The Rock over him.
Yeah, I was gonna say The Rock too, but I'll change it up since you picked The Rock. Damn, but who? But who?
It's a tough one.
That is remarkably tough.
It's tough because who wouldn't want to be in the body of Dwayne The Rock Johnson? That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, there's no shame in picking him, bro. There's no shame because I mean, if he runs for president, we may as well just call him President Rock. It's happening. Who does not like The Rock? I mean, come on.
I really don't have. I don't know who I would want to switch with. I really don't. I have no idea other than him. I have no idea because, like you said, for all the same reasons. It'd be fun to be that big of a dude for a day. It'd be crazy to be like in the day in the life of Dwayne The Rock fucking Johnson, to be an over the top like super crazy day.
And he's a nice guy too, man. Right? He's like a good dude. Yeah. So I mean, it's just a win-win-win.
Yeah, man. That's a tough call. Man, because the other thing is you're just taking over their body, right? You don't have you're not really. You're still you. You're just in their bodies, so there's limitations there.
Well, still give me Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I'll just walk around Halifax all day, just fucking flexing tits and just being The Rock.
100%.
Giving people eyebrows.
Fuck it. I'm sticking with both of us taking
it.
The Rock.
It's an easy out.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. All right. Well,
there's really no other questions in there.
Shout out to The Rock.
Yeah, there's no other. There's really no other questions. There's one other question. I'll just go ahead and ask it.
Okay, there you
go. Muotech, who is a $10 supporter, he says, if you could design one StarCraft unit based on the other 2, what would they be? I don't know what he means by that. If you could design a StarCraft unit based on the other 2. So it must be like
like in the podcast. All right, so we're picking up we're creating a unit based on the other person.
Okay. Okay. Well, Adam definitely would be a Colossus. So Adam would he's the type of guy that does not like to be up front and center. It'll be.
But what about but we have to create a new unit. I don't think he's asking for a current unit. So we'd have to create a unit.
Oh, well. I'm not creating a unit. I'm calling you a Colossus, bitch.
Okay.
You're
that's
you're
fair.
a motherfucking Colossus. You're tall.
Okay.
You like to be in the fight, but you don't want to be in the front lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, and you kind of look like a Colossus. So I'm going with a Colossus, and Tabin is what can Tabin be? Oh, this might. I'm a Dark Templar. Period. So, I'm a Dark Temp. Fuck. What is? I would say he is. I don't know. I was gonna say an SCV. I need time to think about Tabin. Give me you go ahead. I'm gonna think about what he can be.
I think I think I'm gonna give Tabin a High Templar.
Yo, I
on
gotta
that
I gotta
one.
cut you off here for a second.
Okay.
So Mama's blowing me up right now. All right.
Oh, no.
She said
Oh, she thought about it a bit.
she said your father wanted to name you Miles Jr.
Oh.
And I said, no, I won't be saying Miles Jr., Miles Sr. all the time. I wanted the letter J, and I liked the name Jeffrey. I wanted it spelled Ray, R-E-Y, and not E-R-Y. Yeah, she said she just tried calling me, but it wouldn't go. Obvious, because I don't have any things. But she wanted to update it. She probably called Dad. So anyway,
Probably.
So anyway, go ahead. Tabin, high temp.
Tabin High Temp.
So why?
High temp.
So why?
He's a tech guy and he's a multitasker. And he's a behind the scenes dude. He's not somebody that stays up front all the time. He does all the shit in the back. Yeah. So I'm gonna give him that. And don't.
Oh, what are you doing?
All right.
What am
you? All right.
What am I?
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I'm also sorry for this. You're a Brood War SCV.
How am I Brood War SCV? That doesn't even make sense. You gotta explain yourself.
Because they're black.
You fucking
They're
asshole.
all black.
You're a dick, bro. You're an absolute dick. I'm a fucking Brood War SCP because they're all black. That's it. There's no other reason, and all I do is just slave on minerals and gas, and I'm a fucking black worker. You're a racist prick, and I'm done. I'm done with this podcast. I'm done. I'm done.
All right. Okay. I'll give you something other than the SCV. The SCV, that's too obvious. It's too obvious. I had to make the joke. I had to do it. I'm gonna give you. I'll stick to Starcraft too. I'm gonna give you.
I'm the Dark Temp, man. I'm the Dark Templar. And when other Dark Templars come, we turn into a Dark Archon.
No. You're way too out in the open and fucking over the top for a Dark Temp. They're fucking stealthy behind the scenes. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to be heard until it's too late. That's not you. You want to be heard. You want to be out there in the front. You want to be at the top.
Call me a zealot.
You want everyone to hear you.
You call me a zealot?
Think
I'm a stalker?
No. I think you might be like...
Am I a marauder?
I think you might be a marauder or like
I can see a marauder.
or a hellbat.
Ooh, like hellbat.
Or like a yeah, I could go like a marauder or a hellbat or you could be a charge lot maybe. That makes sense. Charge lot.
I could definitely see charge a lot.
Charge lot.
My life for ire. I like it.
I think we'll go charge lot. I think that's
That's your final
Regis.
answer. And what are
Regis
what are
is my
you?
final
What are
answer.
you? Are you the Colossus?
What am I?
Are you sticking with the Colossus?
I can see that. Yeah, I could go for that. I don't really know.
I could see
Somebody
you
else
as a
said
high temp.
science
I could
vessel.
see you as a science vessel.
That's definitely.
Yeah,
I think
you could
if it's a Brood War unit,
You could definitely be a science vessel.
science vessel.
What a lame unit too. It's just
Dude, there were some builds you could just build like 50 science vessels and win games. Just fucking spread their little gas shit all over the place and win. It's just.
Okay. I still got to think of one for Tabin. I'm gonna try and give him. Oh, I can see him being a Terran, like a Terran unit. I don't know. I think I have fucking no clue, dude. I originally said an SCV, but I don't think he's an SCV. That's tough, man. I'm trying to, and there's no like unit that kind of looks like him or has his personality.
No, I know it is tough.
I mean, maybe like a Phoenix. I don't know, man. I actually don't know. A medic? Yeah, I could see that.
I'd go medic.
I could see a medic. That's a good one. Like a raven. Ooh, raven.
Oh, there.
He's a raven. He's a raven.
That's the answer.
That's a good one,
Yeah.
guys. Good answer.
Good
answer.
Yes.
Yes.
Good
Good
answer.
answer.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It's good answer.
Good answer. That's it. It's Raven. It's as soon as somebody said it, it's Raven. It's definitely Raven.
Yeah.
He's
100%.
just got that. He's just got that. He's a tactical guy. He doesn't have an auto attack. He just uses abilities, and he just. It's just Tabin.
Remember there was a time when we were casting Starcraft, there was like a solid month where we did the good answer meme for like fucking every godforsaken cast.
Yes.
We were so hooked on the good fucking answer shit. No matter how bad the answer is. It's like, we surveyed 100 men and women asking them what their favorite breakfast cereal was. What do you think their answer is? And then like they're all thinking real hard, and somebody comes up and goes, you know, we talked about, I don't know, I'm gonna go with Oreos. And then you'll see a wave of depression hit the family behind them,
Yeah.
but then they have to go, wait, we're on television, and they bring it back, and like we have to support them.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
you have to.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good answer.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah,
That's a good answer.
That's a good answer. Yeah, it's a good answer. And then you got Steve Harvey doing the face where he's just like,
Yeah. He always does that thing where he's just.
he's just dead. He just deadpans and he licks his lips a bunch and shit. And that's basically it. Show me Oreos.
Oh man, Family Feud is so fire, dude. I don't care what anybody says. Harvey is the best Family Feud host of all time. I don't care. He could do the same shtick over and over and over again. It's funny. It's fucking funny.
It is.
It's just funny.
I don't know why. Like, there's other people that try to do the same thing and it just falls flat after a while. But there's something about Steve Harvey pulling a stupid straight face.
Yeah.
That kills me.
It's funny
every friggin' time.
It's funny.
And they bait the fuck out of it on Family Feud now. Like, everything's a penis joke on Family Feud. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yep.
It's all penis jokes.
Yep. Well, it's a bunch of fucking like middle-aged white people watching Family Feud, or older people watching Family Feud, and they're just like, you say a black joke or a penis joke or a poop joke, and they're like,
Good answer. Good answer.
And then it's on YouTube and it's got 30 million views. So yeah. All right, Mr. Miyagi, he just put one in. This is actually the last one.
Okay.
Who is a $500 supporter? I'm just gonna throw that out there. So when Miyagi wants a question, he gets a question.
Good answer, Mr. Miyagi.
He said, "What was the moment Adam and Jeff met? What was your first impression of each other? What was the moment you knew you were friends?"
What? Well, I know what Jeff, you go ahead. I know what your answer to this is.
Okay, well, I met Adam for the first time. We just moved on the street, and my mom was like, you need to get the fuck out, because I'm just pacing around the house. They're bringing shit in, setting shit up. You need to get outside. Just go outside. There's kids out there. Go fucking play. So I'm like, all right.
Get out of my hair.
Pretty much.
Fuck.
Just get out. So I go outside, and there's Adam walking down the street, the Mean Street Posse, and the whole group of them. Adam's in the front, and they're looking like the V from the motherfucking Mighty Ducks, just walking down straight middle of the street, just walking down. And I meet them. Hey guys, I'm Jeff. I just moved over there. They're like, oh yeah. Adam's like, hey, yeah, that's cool, man. It's nice to meet you. It's Because believe it or not, Adam had a high ass voice.
I had the highest
I swear to
voice
God,
in the world.
I swear to God, Adam. So he's like, yeah, man, it's nice to meet you. Yeah, we're going down to the end of there, and we're gonna go and build our camp. Like, so I'm like, oh yeah, come on. They thought I was a different guy. I thought I was Jason at first, and I was, and so we go down and we go hang out. But to about Adam is Adam's voice was so ridiculously high. All right, that like it was bizarre, and it wasn't until people really started making fun of his voice. It was like junior high. And people were like, dude, you have a high ass. We'd be like, oh. Adam would say so like, hey man, how's it going? I'd be like, hey man, how's it going? Like just fucking make fun of him. And he didn't like it. And he knew. And then there was like at a certain point that I knew Adam, he didn't realize his voice was high until like it was like in sometime in junior high when people actually just started making fun of his voice. And then all of a sudden overnight, Adam started to like put on this deep voice. He'd be like, I leave his house. We're playing video games on the weekend. I'm like, I go home. I'm like, all right, bro, I'll see you later. See you later, man. And next day I go to his hit up his house in the morning. It's 10 o'clock. I'm knock on his window because he lived in the fucking basement. I'd bang on his window. He'd crawl into bed. He'd be like, hey, come on in. And I go and I walk in. The door's unlocked. I'd go downstairs to his basement. And then all of a sudden he goes, hey, man, how's it going? I'm like, what the fuck? What? Where did this come from? Hey, has it? And it was ridiculous. I still think, and here's my theory, all right? And Adam can try and debunk the theory. And I don't give a fuck what you say. Adam put on a deep voice for so long that it became his voice. Okay? Because how many people have I seen over the years in being with Adam where some random person will go, the fuck is this guy putting on some deep voice? Because it sounds like Adam is, can you imagine Adam just right now debunked us all and said, yeah, actually I do have a deep voice. I've been fucking with you all these years. I would fucking die. Dude, I would lose my goddamn mind. So so when we were younger, he would start to like his voice just like his nuts dropped overnight.
Oh god.
And then it just stuck. Like at that point, I never heard Adam talk high again. So I don't know what happened there.
All right, so everything he said is totally true. 110%. I had the highest voice in the world that people call me like an opera singer and shit when I was in junior high. And it was just funny because I was such a big kid. I grew so fast. I was bigger than everyone else, but I had the highest fucking voice of everyone. And so yeah, it was a bit awkward. My voice never really cracked. I just had a high pitched voice. Yeah. And so anyway, I started lowering my voice a bit, you know. It was probably like I probably thought about it so much and heard it from so many people for so long. I just probably started trying to fucking lower my voice. But at some point, because I was doing that and because my voice never cracked, I have no idea when my voice actually legitimately changed. Because if my voice cracked and shit, then I would have known roughly when, but I literally have no fucking clue when my voice became what my voice is now. And I mean, it would have sounded different to everyone else for sure, because, you know, going from Mickey Mouse and then Mickey Mouse trying to lower his voice is different than what I sound like now. So, like, but I have no idea when it happened. But it's true, I totally did. I tried to lower my voice. I probably sounded like Mickey Mouse attempting to sound like a serial killer.
You know what it sounded like? You were lowering your voice. That's what it sounded.
Yeah, of course.
It sounded like if I was going, "Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Jeff." That's what it sounded, just as retarded as that. And because it was just, it's like everybody giving you shit all the time, and then just all of a sudden you had a deep voice. Like, what the fuck, dude? There's no in between. It was just high to low.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. And you made it, bro. Now you're the man with the golden voice.
I know. I got the voice.
There you go.
I know. I got it now.
So yeah, that was my first time. The first time that I considered Adam my friend, like where I had the in was, he offered me to go over to his house to play video games, and I don't remember. I want to say it was Super Smash Bros. Or it was some.
Yeah, it would have been Nintendo 64.
Yeah, it was some game. It was either that or Mario Kart. It was one of the two, and he offered me to come over, and it was like nobody else it was just him and I. So he's like, hey, you want to come play some video games? And then when I went over his house and we played video games, at that point, we hung out all the time.
When you're kids, you don't really think all that hard about becoming friends with somebody. It just kind of fucking happens.
Yeah.
Like you don't, like it's hard to pick a moment in time unless it's like one of those like movie style things where it's like somebody's getting picked on and you go to their aid and then all of a sudden like, stop picking on Bobby.
His voice isn't that high.
For me back then, it would have been stop picking on Bobby.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
So. That actually just hurt.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday!
Oh!
I wanted to be the first.
There you go.
You pulled it off.
He's 29. He's 29.
I'm an old man now. But yeah, that was totally a thing. But yeah, so for me, first impressions of Jeff, like he said, I thought like everyone on the street thought that he was. You were related to Jason.
Yeah,
weren't you?
he's my
he's your cousin.
He's like not my first cousin, but I'm related.
Somewhere in there.
I'm related. Yeah.
So, and Jason was an ass. And so, when Jeff was first there, that was like everyone's knee-jerk reaction was, oh god, it's Jason. Well, that fucking sucks. He lives on the street now. And then we found it wasn't. I guess my first impression, well, okay. So my first impression of Jeff was a little different because inside of the first like 24 hours, I was already friends with Brian, and I watched Jeff punch Brian in the back of the head, and I was like, "All right, that's a bit weird."
Jason 2.0.
That's a bit aggressive.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's Jason 2.0. So it was a little rough. It was a little rough going at first for sure. But that went away pretty quick, and then after that, it was just whatever. He was just another person on the street. Like all of us were pretty chill for the most part on the street. So yeah, and then that one day. My house was a hot spot. A lot of people would hang out at my place because
you had the basement too, right? So it was like a big thing. And then like I don't know, you were just weird too. Like you didn't like. I didn't say you didn't like going over people's houses, but you always preferred to be at your house.
I did.
So it was just like, it was one of those, like you came over my house plenty. You were always at Brian's a lot, like sleeping over.
There were specific people's houses that I didn't mind.
Yeah.
And then there were other people's houses I didn't. But at the same time, I spent a lot of time. I spent a ton of time in Travis's house when I was really young. And a lot of time in Brian's place. I spent time in almost everyone's place on the block, but I just preferred my house. I guess I just was biased. I just like being in my own house, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so that was that, and it would have been the same time, the moment, obviously, of him inviting Jeff over to play video games, that was probably about the same time that happened. Considered him a friend at that point, and again, when you're 11, 10 years old, there's not a lot of forethought.
Yeah.
You just kind of do shit, and you either end up liking the person and continue to spend time with them, or you don't.
Yeah. And his parents were always cool, too. Like, his parents were... Ever since I met them, they never. I mean, I don't know what they said about me behind closed doors.
Nothing.
Yeah, but they were always nice to me. Ever since day one, they've made me feel like almost like part of the family. So it was easy. Especially like I don't want to pull the race card, but being a black kid, just kind of going into other people's houses and things. Some parents feel like maybe this kid's trouble or whatever, especially when you don't know anything about me. And maybe that's just like a stigma that maybe black people think. I know it's like that when you're meeting like white girl parents for the first time and things like that. These are sort of things that a young black guy always thinks of. What do they think about did they picture their daughter with a black person?
Yeah.
Is this? Am I?
Did they picture their son being friends with a black guy?
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things. But Adam's parents are cool, and Adam was cool, and that was it.
That's
it was
how
easy.
difficult it was.
It was easy.
The only thing my parents ever, there's only ever two people my parents told me to avoid like the plague growing up. It was. But even then, they let me continue to make terrible mistakes. So long before you showed up on the street, there was a guy named Lee who was really good friends with Travis. He was much older than us. He was, I want to say, 3 years older than we were. And big fucking kid. One of those kids, kind of like Raymond. Just a muscular kid, like he hit fucking testosterone way earlier than everyone else probably did, should have. And so big, strong dude and violent as fuck. He lived with his grandmother, and told him to avoid him because he was violent as fuck. And every time I was with him, Travis and I were getting hurt or some shit, terrible stuff was going wrong. I remember one day we were in Diz's place and we were in the guest bedroom, upstairs, second on the left, that room. And he was strong enough that he straight up, me, okay? He power bombed me onto the bed, but I was a little too heavy for him, so he power bombed me on my neck.
Rip.
But I was on the bed, thankfully, otherwise I'd probably be in a wheelchair right now. But it still fucked me up. It cracked my neck. It was bad. I was dizzy as shit, went home, whatever. But after that, Mom and Dad were like, all right, you know what,
done.
maybe time out.
Yeah.
So it was him, and then there were other guys, and it was always older dudes, and all of them on the street that were older were all like fucking violent, drug dealing, crazy fuckers. And so they were the only ones my parents were like, ease up, maybe don't. Otherwise, they didn't really talk about anyone. Everyone was allowed in the house. I was allowed to, be with whoever, and as long as I didn't come back dead,
then you were good.
It was okay. It was good. So yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm officially 29.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. We have successfully wrapped up another technical alpha. Yeah.
Now when you hit 30, dude, you're gonna do what I did, and you're gonna say, what am I doing with my life? I'm 30 years old.
Dude, I'm 29. I'm saying to myself, what am I doing
It'll hit you harder when
with
you're
my
30.
life?
When you're 30,
It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit like a truck.
So. But you get going. Oxy, you better take care of your man. It's his birthday. Take care of it. What's up?
Tomorrow, I'm playing on stream all day, Evil Within 2, and I'm getting Darrow burgers for dinner. I'm treating myself to some Darrow burger.
Let's go.
And maybe buy a tub of that fucking coleslaw to go on.
Oh, Dixie coleslaw. You better get the Dixie. You won't regret it, bro. You won't regret it.
Or I will, because I'll eat too much of it in one sitting and think, what am I doing with my life?
Just get a small, or get a medium so that you and the wifey can have some, and it's just enough. You get a large, you're gonna regret it, bro. Because when you take a spoonful, it's like eating a spoon of just of Nutella, and you're just going, well, I can't just have one spoonful. You're gonna eat everything. So careful, tread lightly.
That's right. Shout outs to GreenCon for the reference to the Saturday Night Live skit of the Down by the River. In a van down by the river. What was his name again? Fucking oh my god, not Louis. This is the other heavyset dude.
I don't even know.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh,
Beverly Hills Ninja.
He's dead, right? Chris Farley?
Yes.
Is that what it
Chris
is?
Farley.
Yeah.
Chris Farley.
Yeah.
It's like his most famous Saturday Night Live skit, coming over, trying to scare, put the fear of God into kids, because he lived in a van down by the river, and so it was constantly, soon you'll be doing blow off a hooker's ass crack and living in a van down by the river.
And he always he's just some weird shit with his
Cocaine's
body.
a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
He was one of those like fat athletic dudes, and then you like add 4 pounds of coke before every Saturday Night Live show, and just wired for sound. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this episode of Technical Alpha Podcast. We will be back next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, twitch.tv/Technical Alpha. You should be here enjoying this live with us. For those of you watching on YouTube, bless you. Thank you for your continued support. Spread the word. If you like the podcast, share it with a friend or family member. Get the word out. It's the way that these things grow. Thank you. Also to those on iTunes, we went up. We're now at 90 5-star reviews. We need 10 more. Hey guys, it's my birthday. You know what I want for my birthday? 10 more reviews on iTunes. Preferably 5-star. Preferably 5-star.
It's 5-star or don't give a fucking review.
I want to see 100 reviews because it will feel so good. And until next week, ladies and gentlemen, let's hit up these Patreon producers. I think one might have. I don't know yet. I have to look for next week because I took a look at our Patreon dollar amount and I was like, oh, something might have happened here. But I'm giving you a shout out anyway. Jetrix and Mr. Miyagi
Gods.
comfortably occupying the $500 slots, filling them up. Postal Panda at the $250, being a legend. And then a whole host of gods who have been long-standing at the $100, Jamaican Jazz, Adam Barlow, Toad of Steel, Derek P., Fry C., Ice, Wolfie. Thank you all, and thank you to all of the Patreons, not just these Patreon producers up here towards the top, but everyone involved. You're basically making this show happen, and hopefully you're enjoying it as much as we enjoy making it. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much once again for listening and watching, and until we see you next week, peace!